Hello everyone and welcome back to the next episode of Art Side of Life, where I chat with inspiring artists 5 days a week. My name is Eva and my guest today is Alexandra Vuorio, also known as Kasvei. You will learn about her thinking process behind finding your own style and being an artist.
For example, when I was younger, I always wanted to be the best, and I didn't actually understand that you can't be the best at art. You will always evolve.
Alexandra is self-taught digital and watercolor artist from Finland, and she is most known for painting whimsical female characters connected with nature. So please welcome Alexandra and let's get to the interview. So, welcome everyone to the next episode of Art Side of Life, and I'm super happy to have my guest here. Hi!
Hello!
How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Good. And we were talking about the Finland weather a bit, and it's so exciting because I still haven't been there. And maybe you can share some of your stories, maybe from childhood. How was it growing up there, and like creative outlets in your area?
Well, I always lived in the south of Finland, so the environment has always been the same, to be precise. But I don't know. It's been a good childhood, I will say. I don't know if I drew when I was little. Mm-hmm. I did, but I don't really have like a lot of family members who is artistic. Mm-hmm. So it was like my own thing to do. But I always have the support. Like growing up, like everybody told me like, you're gonna be an artist. And I was like, we'll see, So yeah, it's been great. Well, yeah, what can you expect? I always lived in Finland, so I can't like.
Did you go to some like sketch clubs or something, just to practice when you were like in high school or in that area, or when you were still like deciding where to go to study, that it was kind of like pushed aside?
Yeah, I went to art school when, like after school, while I was in preschool. Mm-hmm. Like, is it preschool? Probably when you're like 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
So I went to an art school and it was nice. I mean, I got to experiment a lot of like oil colors and watercolors and just test different mediums. But then we moved, and I actually didn't go after that in high school at all. I just drew myself, and I always did it, so it's fine. But then after high school, I went 1 year to study art, and I have also studied graphic design and photography.
Oh yeah, so how was
a lot of creative?
Yeah, so the deciding process, how was it? When you wanted to like, okay, so graphic design or photography, or because we had these discussions with other guests as well, like, okay, so people consider graphic design as a more safe choice for the future. Was it also in your case?
No, I just wanted to study something that interests me, mm-hmm. and. Like I always known that I wanted to pursue art in a career matter. So I just decided to study whatever feels mm-hmm. interesting, because I didn't actually know what I wanted to do like precisely. I just knew it will be art related, and just waited for myself to grow up to that point of life. So I just studied, and it was nice. I liked it.
So which were kind of like the biggest decisions you had to do in order to follow your passion?
It's probably was the beginning of this year. Mm-hmm. That's when I really decided, okay, I want to do it like now, or not actually now, but just work to the point and do it in the near future. So I put myself out there in social medias, mostly Instagram, and just was like, just try to get to the point that I felt safe about starting, and now I'm here, just like a really short time away from starting my own business and doing this full time. So
And so, what is your plan for the like future projects or upcoming projects? Are you planning to do some like art series or even a coloring book or creating your own universe? Or how is it with your, like the art style and what are you creating right now?
I'm just going with the flow right now, but I do like the idea of maybe doing a children illustration book in some point of my life. It doesn't have to happen now, but some point in life, it would be nice to do something. And it doesn't matter if I write it myself, but just to illustrate a book. I always wanted to do a book. I don't know why, but I think that's a project I want to do. But otherwise, I just want to make a safe living that I can manage.
Yeah, that you can
And
live from it.
I don't have to get rich or anything. I just want to do what I love and stay home, you know.
And when you told your friends or parents like about that, okay, I want to take this seriously as my profession, do you remember the discussion? What was there?
It was actually my mom who told me like, do it now. I come from a family who owns their own business, so it's always been really easy to get all the information and ask them. So yeah, but it's I still find it quite difficult to explain like where do I get the money? Like how can I make how do I make money from art? And but usually like all my friends they follow me on Instagram, they watch what I draw and they think I'm good. So they're like, yeah, you're gonna be fine. So I don't know. It's never been a real negative. It's always been really positive, but then outsider people who I don't know. So they are like, how do you intend to make money, on art? Like old-fashioned people.
Yeah, because it depends if they are, in art industry or they are not. Because then, when you are growing up outside of that, or you just don't know how you can earn money in that way, then you're like, yeah, you cannot live from it.
Yeah, they probably have a really solid workplace what gives money, like what gives them the precise amount each month or something. So they don't know it's an option, really.
Yeah.
But it's hard. I don't find it's going to be really easy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I want to do it. And I want to take that risk.
Yeah, that's good. Just to try, because then you can regret you never tried,
Yeah.
And what was like the best advice you ever received, maybe from your mom or someone who inspired you?
Just do it. To be honest, probably it never been like a question of if I'm going to do it. It's just when. And like my mom said, like do it now. Just do it. You're young. You can. And I don't know. I decided myself too because it's really hard to get a job here, like as a young person anywhere probably in the world. It's difficult, and I wanted to work in something that I actually like. So I decided to do it, to start my own business instead of finding some part-time jobs that I actually don't enjoy. So it's all been really positive, to be honest.
Oh, perfect. And so, as you mentioned before, so how do you, or what do you live from now? What are your income sources, like pursuing your passion and just like day-to-day life?
I was studying a business management course, and now I'm just in between. Like, I do get like amount of money each month from the state because I don't have a work right now, and I'm just trying to get all the paperwork done, so it's not a problem right now. So yeah, we get some support.
So it's good for like a transition when you are setting up all of your online shop and like social media and stuff.
Yeah, like it isn't a lot, but it helps. So I can do all the pre-work before opening up a shop. So every like graphic design thing is like all my logos and stuff is already like been taken care of before, and I want just do everything beforehand and just open, like, have products too.
What about the online shops? Do you plan to have one on your website, or you are opening like Etsy or Society6 or Redbubble or these platforms?
I'm thinking on in the beginning maybe opening an Etsy or Store Envy. I haven't really decided which one yet, but probably in the future when I have my customers, so I can change to our own web shop.
And are you planning to go also for some events to network with more people, or how do you do your networking or finding new paid projects?
I decide my own project at the moment. Like, I'm doing Inktober right now, and that will take my whole October. But I think I will. I always wanted to go to a con and sell, and I haven't done that ever. So that's a thing I'm looking forward to do, and meeting other people and doing more collaborations too, because I haven't really done so much of them either. So I'm kind of new here still.
And what are your favorite tools you work with when you are creating your artworks?
I have to say watercolors at the moment. I did a lot of digital art before, but then I just decided that I wanted to do something like physical, like have an artwork you can frame or sell or something. So I decided to switch to watercolors, and now I'm stuck with them.
So what fascinates you about the watercolors? That it's like a physical thing you can have?
I don't know. I just like the feeling or the idea to sit with a paintbrush and just so I can mix all my colors myself. And I feel like it's more fun to make mistakes, because if you do everything digitally, you can always go back. You can always change everything, and you don't really think everything through before you do. But then when you draw with watercolors or paint with watercolors, I'm sorry, you can't really go back. You just have to go through with it. And I feel like I can be more proud when I've succeeded than with a digital work. So.
And when you do digital stuff, do you use like Photoshop and Intuos or something like that, or other tools?
Yeah, I use Photoshop, and then I have a Cintiq 13-inch screen.
Yeah. And what about the watercolors? Do you have like a favorite brand of watercolors? Like, these are the best ones I love.
I do love my Migello. How do you pronounce it?
That one I haven't tried.
Gold. They're really pigmented.
Okay.
Yeah, so I do like them. They're a bit different from what I used before. I used this Winsor & Newton's.
Yeah, that's what I tried. Yeah.
And I have them like 5-6 years. It was time to change them, but yeah, they're really pigmented and nice. Like, I do love them.
Okay. So what was it? The name Michelle.
Migello.
Okay. Yeah, I think I heard about.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But yeah, okay. We can put it in the show notes as well, so people can check it out. And so when you are like deciding on like the project you want to do, like in the future or what to work on, what is your decision process like? What is your motivation?
If it's well, really, when I get if I get 2 projects and one pays better, but isn't really actually what I'm interested in, I rather take the one that pays less. So I don't know, because it's more fun to work on something that you really like to work on, and not just take every work you get, even if it's not something you actually want to do. But if I would have to, I would probably do it, to be honest. But I don't know. I don't see myself as a materially, like, I don't need to have a lot of money. I'd rather take the less amount to decide on the one that interests me more. And I think, like, if I get a project and it's a concept that I don't really approve of. I don't see the point why I should do it, because I don't feel comfortable with putting it on my social medias or showing it or getting more customers that way.
Yeah.
So it depends really.
And when we talked a bit about the, like your artworks and how you create them, do you have like the main inspiration which you have, like maybe the plants or
Yeah, my
nature,
plants.
or maybe something strange as well? Do you have something funny to share?
I need to have an inspirational environment to draw. Like, okay, I don't need to, but it helps a lot. Like, I love to have my desk really tidy, so I clean it and like all the time. So I don't know, I just love to have everything in its place, like really organized, easy to access, and easy to start drawing. So, and then I just love the idea of everything being bright and with the plants. So it helps me, like, I really want to sit at my desk and work. And of course, having a cup of iced coffee helps. So it's like,
Iced
it's
coffee.
like a real, yeah, it's like a real Instagram. Like, nobody can see this but me, but I love just having everything just so nice, and I don't know, it's weird maybe.
No, but
That
it's perfect.
inspires me.
Yeah. I also like to have like this bright place where you have like nice clean desk, so you have actually, like place to work and just
Yeah.
organize yourself. And so do you use like a planners to organize, or do you like plan ahead for a week or a month, or how do you do that?
Yeah, I do have a weekly planner. So every Monday morning, I try to sit down and just plan the whole week. Just like putting more stuff throughout the week. And but then I get so excited that I over plan it and put a lot of like stupid stuff that I don't even really do. But I love the idea to just stroke them off as I go. Like, okay, I've done this. Nice, next. Like, I love planning and pros and cons list and to-do list. All of it. I just like it. But yeah, sometimes I just get a little bit sad because I put so much stuff in them just to have something to write down, and then I don't do it. It's like, aw.
Yeah, then you get upset if it's not finished. And
Yeah.
what about, when you mentioned that your parents had a business or they have business, what is the best thing you learn about like having your own business, or what are you planning to implement in yours?
Well, it's easy to always ask like about taxes and all of this stuff that I don't really yet get, or bookkeeping and stuff like this. It's like, it's easy to have a family member you can always call, like, hey, how was it I was supposed to do in this situation?
Yeah.
So it's nice. And yeah, so yeah.
So that's the taxes and bookkeeping. That's also something which usually artists, they don't think about it if they want to start, and it's like, oh, I have to do this.
Yeah, so it's probably the biggest things right now I'm still like trying to figure out, because I would love to do my own bookkeeping, or love to do it as far as possible, because hiring a bookkeeper is expensive. So I can't really afford that in the beginning. So it's nice to be able to ask questions all the time. Okay, maybe not me in the middle of the night, like, hey, hey, mom.
It's like, what about this?
Yeah, no, but it's nice. So they helped me a lot, and it's nice to be able to go everything through at the same time. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I will call your mom as well. It's like, oh, by the way. But that's the biggest problem, that is like different in every country, which is kind of tricky. Like, oh, maybe you live somewhere, then you want to move, and then you have to figure it out all again, and or find someone who knows how to, do it. So anyway, but what about like, the learning you said about the starting your own business? Do you have also some maybe go-to resources about art, and like favorite art books or documentaries or films?
I would say this one right now.
Ah, cool. Tove Jansson. I haven't
Yeah.
read that.
Yeah, so that's the one I'm reading right now, and like I haven't gotten so far because always when I read it, I was, hey, I need to draw now. Like, like I just read about her life, how, like about her love and career and everything, and I'm like, okay, she's so amazing. I need to draw right now. So it's a good it's a good book. It's a great book. So, and I think like it's a have to read because I'm from Finland and she's from Finland. So, and everybody knows the Moomins. So
maybe I pronounced her name wrongly. How do you say her name?
Tove Jansson.
Okay, so that I said it wrong. Okay, Tove Jansson. Good. So I will put it on the read to books.
Yes.
And do you have also like other favorite resources maybe to learn from as well online, or is it mainly books?
I don't really. I don't know. I'm just going with the flow. I'm just drawing. If I don't know how to draw something, I draw it wrong. I don't care really. Like our proportions are often really wrong. I don't really care because I see that art doesn't really have rules. It doesn't have to, like, the legs don't, if you draw legs, they don't have to be as long as on a human being. I don't see it's important to me. So I just draw as I want. And I have a difficulty because I don't have a good like picture memory. So I can't like imagine things before I draw. I'm like more, I just start somewhere and it evolves along the way.
So how does your process look like? If you do a character, do you have the whole sketch, or you start more, as you said, like with the flow, like you start with a leaf or a head and then it kind of creates the shapes, or how do you work with your art process?
I usually start with the head. I don't know why. If I just decided that, okay, I'm going to draw a human, fine. A girl, a female, or a man. I just start with the head, and I roughly try to get somewhat pose, like in which way the body is gonna turn, or in which way the face is gonna turn. So I just start, and I usually use color pencils, and then afterwards I work up the details.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, but if that's why I draw so much humans and girls or females. Because I can't draw anything else at the moment. I have a really difficulty drawing men, it's nice. But then if I draw animals, I try to look up some reference to Pinterest or something, because it's not something I know how to form without help. So yeah, Pinterest is a great way. I pin all the time stuff that inspire me in somewhat. I just love the idea to late night just flick through Instagram, also Pinterest, flick through Pinterest and just pin everything that gives somewhat an emotion or inspiration. So
yeah, I do that as well. I have like this, like, I don't even know how many pins and boards. I have like, okay, character design, animals, I have like dogs, cats, foxes, so as well, just like so many references. And so when you mentioned as well this the inspiration or approach to learning, or kind of come up with the different styles, so how do you approach the learning process? If you think like, okay, now I have to improve the anatomy, or I have to improve the male drawing, or do you focus on like the female drawings and this is what I'm good at and I want to just go that route, or you are trying to improve all the levels, or just the one you are good at? Because different artists have different approaches.
yeah, I understand. It's more of like a feeling. Like if I feel like I want to expand my knowledge, so I do it. Like, but in a more non-stressful way. Like I don't see myself just, okay, I'm gonna do a huge illustration of a man because I don't know how. It's more like, okay, I'm just gonna try it out. We'll see. But then if it's smaller, like I still have a really difficult time to drawing hands. I don't know why, and I just should sometimes sit down and draw only hands. But I'm more like I'm trying to include them in my art. And okay, if it doesn't look great, fine. I will improve while just keeping them in my art, like using them, and just don't because before I always just hid them behind something so I didn't have to draw them.
I think a lot of people do that at the beginning,
Yeah.
for sure.
Now I'm trying to always include them from time to time so I can improve, and like I'm trying to keep it fun and not to always just sit down, okay, I have to get good at this and just draw the specific thing. Like I'm trying to more just use it and slowly ease into it, really.
And is there something you wish you knew before you started to like take this seriously and professionally, like advice to young self before you were like deciding what to study and all of that?
Well, for example, when I was younger, I always wanted to I wanted to be the best, and I didn't actually understand that you can't be the best at art. You will always evolve. You can't be like, I can't see myself like a professional artist because you will always learn new things. And it's a good thing because that's why we all are so unique, because if we all could be the best at art, we will always all do the same thing probably, So that's one thing, and maybe that it takes like making art is like from the heart, Okay, that rhymes. So I mean, I wish I known how much of your mental health is on board. Like if you're not feeling really good that day, I usually can't draw. Like, you will always have to be so happy in a good mood or neutral. But if you're sad or just under the weather, I can't see myself drawing because that's the last thing I'm trying to do or wanting to do. So that's one thing too that I wish I known. And I wish people would talk more about mental health if you're an artist, because we all struggle with stuff like that.
Yeah, like ups and downs.
Artists.
Yeah. But it's actually really interesting because if you think about, like, a lot of people are saying when you are like musician or making songs, when you have like a heartbreak or you have really hard time, then you create better art, like songs and all of that. So it's actually really interesting to think about, like, okay, how much does it inspire you actually to draw or create like music, or what is the artistic inspiration?
Yeah, like for me it's the same. Because I draw with feeling. If I'm happy, I draw happy stuff. If I'm not as happy, I draw less happy stuff. It's simple like that. But then again, I'm trying more to awaken some kind of emotion to the viewers. Like I'm trying, like what I'm offering is more like I don't really mind what kind of emotion my illustration gives, as long as it gives some kind of emotion. So that's more like my thing, and probably a lot of other artists as well.
Yeah. And so how do you motivate yourself if you have a down day or like you bad mood, or what do you do?
I clean. That's probably my thing. And I'm not trying to force myself to make art. I'm trying to, because not long ago, I took a lot of projects, and it stressed me out a lot. And I found that it doesn't motivate me to draw if I have too much to do. Like it feels like I have to do it. I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. So, for me, it's more like taking that break, doing something else that interests me, or just not making art at that exact moment and wait for me actually wanting to do it, like not forcing myself. So it can be a really long, positive experience instead.
Yeah. And did you have something like a difficult moment of your art career so far, or like the worst moment, and what did you have like a takeaway or learning from that time?
Um, yeah, a couple years back, I actually had a year I didn't draw at all, and I'm not sure why. But then again, I still was trying to find my own style, and I feel like I only now found it. Only now found it. So all the time beforehand, when I'm trying to just figure out what is my thing, what is my medium, and I was really scared that I had to choose like one medium or one thing, one creative thing to do, and I just decided why I will do them all. I don't care. So, yeah, like I don't really think a lot about the past before I found my own art style, because it feels like I was trying to find a style that was more interesting for other people than for myself.
Yeah.
And it's wrong. Like, okay, it's not wrong, but it's not
Not for you.
it's not smart. Yeah, I want
Yeah.
to find something that inspires me to as well, and not just trying to find a style that other people like. And
Yeah, because then you don't put your heart in it and your passion
no,
just to create everything.
so
And
I'm happy it came now. Like,
and what about the future? Like some of my last questions are about the future. How would you imagine yourself in like 5 to 10 years when you can just do whatever you want, your dream scenario, and you cannot fail, and this is what you can do?
that's a really difficult question. Like, I mean, well, I hope I can still do it. Like, I hope I can make art. I would be happy if, like, if I just could do that and nothing else. But I can't see myself that far into the future. But I hope I have moved somewhere bigger and have my own workroom. That's probably my like goals right now, to get my own room
Studio,
to
yeah.
just, yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah.
And my last question would be like far in the future, even more difficult. And what would you like to be remembered for in like 100 years?
Um, well, I will probably be dead by then, so
Maybe we will be like robots, you don't know.
yeah, who knows? Maybe I will live. Well, I would want to be remembered by some kind of inspirational person, or that my art still inspires other people, beginners or just other people trying to find their style. That would be awesome. I would be happy.
Definitely, that's really nice. And before we say goodbye, maybe you can share like last key takeaway or advice, and then we'll finish.
Um, Take your time, really. I'm speaking now to all those who are still in the beginning phase, not with art, but just not have found their own style. So that would be to just don't rush into it. Just the style will come to you. I find that helpful. Like, you can't just force yourself finding that style. It will come eventually, and just not trying to stress about followers or social media, or because I don't see that it doesn't matter how many followers you have. It doesn't make anyone better or less better. So that would be to just take your time, really.
Definitely, yeah. Just don't stress and just enjoy the process, because, like we are still learning, as you said, and just, yeah, keep it calm and positive,
Yeah.
and just, yeah, inspire each other and help each other. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank
It was so
you.
much fun.
Thank you so much. It has been so awesome.
And thanks everyone for joining, and see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and let me know in comments. Also, please subscribe to my channel for more videos because I post new interview every single workday. You can also find the resources mentioned in this episode at artsideoflife.com. Just type a guest name in the search bar. There is also a little freebie waiting for you, so go check it out. If you want to listen to the interviews on the go, make sure to check out the podcast episodes at artsideoflife.com/podcast. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and don't forget to inspire each other. I will see you guys in the next episode.